This video has been developed to provide guidance on completing an estate risk assessment task within BeSafe. When a risk assessment is due for one of your estates, you will receive an email notification from C365. This will indicate that you need to log on to BeSafe to complete the risk assessment. Estate risk assessments are completed annually and should be undertaken with the estate manager. As you're walking around the estate, make notes of any issues that require an action. You can print off a copy of a previous annual risk assessment, as this will act as a template of any of the key areas that you need to check. Once logged on to BeSafe, you'll first need to search for an estate. To search, click on Estate Group. This will show you a drop-down of the estates in your area. Select the estate where the risk assessment is due. The details of the estate will be displayed in the main BeSafe screen. You'll see 8 tabs across the top of the screen. Select the Risk Assessment tab. Here you'll see a list of all the previously undertaken risk assessments for this estate. Each risk assessment task is assigned a red, amber or green status. This indicates when the risk assessment is overdue, due or completed. You may want to print a copy of a previous risk assessment. To do this, click on the line of the completed risk assessment and this will load. Right-click anywhere on the screen and select Print. Once you've completed a risk assessment with the estate manager, you'll need to create a new risk assessment on BeSafe. To do this, search for your estate as before and select the Risk Assessment tab. Click on the plus sign. You will then need to select the visibility that applies. For a risk assessment, you'll need to select No, so that it's visible to everybody. Click Continue to generate the risk assessment form. This may take a few minutes to load. Once the form is generated, a reference number will be created. The form will automatically input relevant information such as the estate code. At this point, you'll be able to review visibility settings and make changes if needed. You're also able to add more interested users by clicking the Manage Interested Users button. For example, you may want to alert your line manager or the regional safety advisor in certain situations. To do this, click on the Manage Interest Users button and type in the name of the person you want to alert. Please note you'll need to add a full stop with no spaces. Then select their email address from the list and click Add. This will then send the person an email alert. You can also upload any supporting documents relating to the risk assessment through the Upload File field. To do this, click Browse to search for the relevant document. Select the document and click Open. When the file is displayed, click Upload to save it. Start by completing the form by answering the questions based on your findings. Initially, you'll see a list of areas that you need to check as part of the risk assessment process. Please note there may be some areas that are not relevant to the estate that you have assessed, such as catering. If any of your findings result in an action needing to be raised, you will need to select the tick box adjacent to the relevant statement. For the purpose of this user video, we will use the first question as an example. In external areas, pedestrian access and egress, slips, trips and falls. Firstly, select the tick box adjacent to the statement. This will then open up further related statements. In this example, the only issue that you have identified is a stairway that is not adequately lit. Therefore, you'll need to select the option All stairs and steps are adequately lit. Once selected, you'll need to advise if there are any additional or existing measures. This refers to any measures the estate manager has put in place to reduce the risk. If any measures have been put in place, select Yes, and then enter a comment in the field provided to explain those measures. You can add additional control measures by clicking Add Another. In this example, the answer No has been selected as no additional measures have been put in place. You'll then need to identify who is likely to be exposed to the risk. Select all appropriate groups from the options provided. You'll then need to advise whether the risk assessment is acceptable based on the measures you have identified. In this example, no existing measures are in place. The answer should be selected as No. On selecting No, more fields will be displayed. Select the risk level and type a description of the additional controls you would like to see put in place. Then assign this action to the most relevant person by typing in their name in the Action Assigned To box and selecting their email address when it appears. In this example, you raise an action to the estate manager to arrange a repair. However, this will not reduce the risk immediately, and therefore you want to arrange another action for the estate manager to put up a warning sign. To do this, select if the above controls still do not make the risk acceptable, please select the checkbox to add another control. This will release further fields to raise the additional action. Continue to work through the remainder of the form, recording any issues as per the example. At the bottom of the form, there's an option to save for later. This should be used when you've part completed the form and you want to return later to complete it. Once all issues have been recorded and relevant actions raised, click Approve. You've now successfully completed a risk assessment task.